Good morning. Roshan, thank you for a very warm welcome, and people who've come in this morning in Delhi, as we were talking in the speaker's room, to brave through the traffic issues of Delhi to come here. Thank you for coming in. I was telling him that it's great that Financial Express is picking up on a topic which is probably, as we start to look at Viksit Bharat or a developed nation, is probably the most important pillar of our foundation. And like the lady in front said, I'm not really transforming education or skilling. I'm just a very small cog in the wheel, and I'm here to just share some of my views and opinion from both perspectives, being a board member of NSDC, a National Skill Development Corporation, as well as having been part of the tech or the IT industry for a while. I was with Tech Mahindra I'm one of those rare guys who's only worked with one company in the technology industry. Some people say, oh, you were very good. Some people said you were not good, so others didn't hire you. But the overall 31 years in Tech Mahindra, and I just quit April of 24 as their Chief Strategy and Growth Officer, and now I'm doing my own startup called Humanize Tech.ai on an AI services platform. I've been a big passionate believer in skilling and the whole improvement that it requires in quality of education, and doesn't mean that it's the academicians that's the only people that have the responsibility, but it's also the huge amount of collaboration that is needed with industry. And therefore, being a part of NASSCOM, have been chair for FICCI in Science, Technology and Innovation, I've always felt that in our country that collaboration is missing. And it's always that academia feels industry is not forthcoming, and industry feels academia is not forthcoming, and that's where I think the role of these forums, like the ones that Financial Express is doing, is extremely critical to get these two people together and maybe run organizations to come together. And I made a responsible journey I thought would be important for us to know. We all know how core education is in India, and for us to be able to look at the whole scale of education is not a new thing. It's for ancient ages that we've been extremely focused on education. And from the journey that we've had from the Gurukuls to today, the digital level of journey, it's an important journey that we've undertaken, with never forgetting that every family, every scale of the society, however poor or rich they are, they'll always make sure the education is at the core. I mean, I was talking to someone, I'm on the advisory board of an NGO called Educate Girls, and that they're doing some amazing work. And in that National Institute of Open Schooling, the chairman was telling me that it's never a case of money. The poorest of the poor will say, okay, I'll probably do half a meal, but I want my child to go to school. And that's the journey that in India is extremely important. And on the other hand, the richest of the rich still send their kids to school to be able to learn the best practices. Therefore, it's right there on the top of our pyramid of what we want to do. If you see, why education, I think it's the biggest equalizer. If you look at the level of, the new journey of startups, the new journey of unicorns, the new journey of even people who've made it from one strata of the society to the other strata, if you meet people that have been helps at your home, or drivers, or any of those, lower strata income guys, and their families are moving up, they're only moving up because a large number of them, their kids are doing some sort of a schooling education and moving forward to get a better job and better placement in life. So it's the biggest equalizer, it's the most important fundamental pillar for an inclusive future. And without having an inclusive future, this country or any country has no future, because we'll only create an extremely high divide on how the journeys of our country will look like. So it's extremely important that we start to emphasize the importance of education. The importance of educators will only come driving, so they are both combined. If you go to the Nordics, one of the most sought after jobs in the Nordics is of that of a teacher. And I don't need to repeat that it's not the case here in India. It's not the most important job that people want to go for. But there, the respect and the the opportunities that an educator, whether it's a school or a university, has is extremely high. And I think it's responsible citizens' role to make sure that the education is extremely critical. And the educator's role, how many of us will encourage our children to become teachers, to become professors, to join universities to teach. And I think that's the journey that's got to more and more facilitate the next equalizer journey. While we have had a great, great journey, India is known for its education, known for its scale and capability of education, the volume of institutes, academics, and the students, everyone, everywhere you go, the volume of engineering graduates, the management graduates, they only run into millions in our country. But there is still a significant amount of opportunity that's waiting. Like we just heard during the welcome address, that the role of AI, and I'm running an AI company, so I'll know a little more about what's the challenge that's happening in the industry and how we handle it. As part of NASSCOM, we've always felt that the biggest opportunity is not, and this fear that AI will take jobs away is so misplaced, because as you know the old adage, or the new one this time, AI will never take your jobs away. People who know AI will take your jobs away. So I think that opportunity for us is extremely critical for us to be able to bridge this gap of the 30. India will need this 30 million digitally qualified people. India demand for AI and data, as you see, is 20% higher than the current fresh talent availability, and the 2.3% only of the Indian workforce has received any kind of formal skilling. So being part of NSDC, and very interesting, this is not in my slides, but I was in our NSDCI. NSDC has an international body called NSDCI, and I was in that NSDCI setup just 2 days back in Greater Noida. It was such a humbling experience to see more than 600 kids from Northeast, from Kerala, from Kashmir, from different parts of Uttarakhand to have come and learn skills that will take them for jobs in healthcare and in other engineering jobs in Germany and Japan, and in hospitality jobs. And there are futures that are opening up for them that was not there, jobs opening up for them because of the skilling that's not there. So I think the biggest opportunity for us, how do we anticipate market trends and drive the educational transformation? To me, the biggest educational transformation is combining and it's done very well in our NEP that the government has launched, is extremely well designed, and the focus is on skilling. The question is, how many of our academic institutions are adopting it as aggressively as they should? Because, at the end of the day, the outcome is a job. An outcome is an opportunity. And job by job, I don't mean working for someone. This country and our massive opportunity can only grow if we create a volume of jobs, and most of the jobs will come from creating startups and small to medium enterprises. And that capability will only come if you're skilling people. If you're skilling people to be able to parallelly figure out how to create a business, what business to create in which area. And everyone will have different areas of expertise that they need to look at. So I thought it will be important for us to focus on this important activity of how to create a whole transformation journey, how to anticipate market trends. We seem to be, today, most of us, in responding to it. There's a very important sports analogy, and I'm a big sports fan, so I'll draw that on, that the difference between a lot of other sports and what in America they play is a sport called ice hockey, is the fact that in ice hockey you can never play the sport by running after the ball. In ice hockey it's called puck, and you can't do it without running. It's so fast that you can't chase it. So it's all about anticipation. Where will the puck land and where will you be? And our education for the future will have to be about anticipating the market needs and anticipating the future. And that is where our opportunity with AI lies. And the whole opportunity with AI is about really being the biggest equalizer. So if we combine the technology of AI, if we combine the national education policy, if you combine the National Skill Development Corporation's initiatives to set up these skill centers and partnering with them, I think we have a great story. I mean, these are some of the examples I thought I'll lay in front of you. I'm sure all of you are aware of it, of some amazing work being done across the country, whether it's with the GEMS, whether it's with the government, whether it's with healthcare. Each of them are doing their best job. But the scale of the opportunity and the problem in our country is humongous. And if you don't use, the only answer to that is technology. The technology is the biggest leveler. It can reach out to a village in Himachal equally as a village in Kerala or in the Northeast. It can give them all aspects of learning. And along with it, if we do the skilling work that we are doing, we are making them ready for the world, ready for the job world that we're looking at. I was just talking to Roshan about how our children and others constantly look for education abroad. And we've been masters in providing, especially the industry that I come in, the IT services industry, in providing talent to the world. We feel extremely proud, as rightly we should, that this is the global hub of technology and talent for the world. We bring in more than $200 billion of export revenue into the country, the IT services industry. But we are losing out on another opportunity to be the education and skilling hub of the world. Why won't people from the Western worlds come here to get educated? Because we have some amazing talent, amazing teachers, amazing educational heritage over the number of centuries that we've been in. We have this useful and extremely sharp and well-organized skill development initiative from the government, as well as of which the biggest initiative is from NSDC. And if we combine all of them together, this is what I thought could be a dream to fulfill for all of us, to be the education and skilling hub of the world. Thank you.